Why do I feel bad all the time? These are often very misunderstood. It comes up all the time in therapy. So when I was 8 years old, I stole a piece of candy from a store. I sure did. My mom happened to see me chomping on something that she knows she did not buy me.
What's in your mouth?
Yep. What's in your mouth, Sarah?
Spit it out.
And I was like, candy. And she's like, did you steal that? And I was like, yes. And so she marched me right back in and was like, you have to tell the cashier that you stole it, and then we're going to have to pay for it. And I was like, okay. Guilt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guilt is defined as like, I felt bad about my behavior.
Right.
Okay. I feel bad. I don't feel bad anymore.
Right.
I haven't stolen since. That's good news.
So learn to change your behavior.
Change my behavior.
Guilt will change behavior.
Now let's consider this from a shame perspective.
Ooh,
okay. So shame is about feeling bad about who you are.
Yep.
So
not what you did.
Not what you did. So it's I'm bad, not I did something bad.
Right.
And that makes a huge difference because shame is very insidious and it speaks to you not being good enough as a human versus detaching it from the behavior.
Right.
So
we do it all the time in therapy.
Oh my God.
What was the behavior? What was the behavior? It was a behavior. Big. I used to have pizza.
Yep.
This bad behavior is one piece. There's still a kind-hearted.
Yep.
A polite, pleasant.
Yes, kind. There's probably 15 other options.
Like artistic.
Yes.
Work ethic.
So it's not an issue. So guilt is feeling bad about a behavior. Shame is feeling bad about who you are.
Yes.
Today, we are going to try to get a better understanding of shame, where it comes from, and how do we combat it.
Welcome to Fit Mind Chat. Get comfortable, join us in our virtual office, and get ready to gain insight into motivation that drives behaviors you might not understand. I'm Abby Smeedy, an independently licensed clinical counselor.
And I'm Sarah Delavella, a licensed independent social worker. We're the owners of Fit Mind Cleveland, a mental health private practice in Cleveland, Ohio, with grounded therapists that are approachable and meet you where you're at in life, a place where you can see your strength and grow in your greatness. So shame.
Shame. Oh, I will say, when we look at anger is a secondary feeling. I say it all the time. It means like it's never really truly what's driving.
Yeah, there's more.
Shame is probably one of the hardest primary feelings out there. It's so deep, and it's so hard because no one really knows how to be ashamed.
It is a chronic feeling of inferiority, unworthiness.
Yep.
It is like, I don't feel as good as, I am not as good as. It is correlated very highly with addictive behaviors, addiction, depression,
self-medicating,
anxiety.
Oh,
which makes sense. If you believe you are inherently bad, unworthy of love, unworthy of anything good, why would you be happy? If that is the place you're coming from in life.
But then you don't guilt about not being happy because that's shame.
Because then you could also then, and a lot of people do, and a lot of people mistake guilt and shame. Like,
yes,
they're like, I feel guilty for doing this. And I'm like, well, actually, that's not a bad thing.
No.
Guilt about a behavior.
Changes the behavior.
Yes. And it's usually, guilt, when it's really functional, is about like, I stole something. Like, I know I shouldn't.
Right.
Like, we know what's morally or like legally right or wrong. You know what I mean? So
you might feel good about not getting up to go work out.
Yes.
You don't get 5 days later, and like, I feel like I'm a terrible human being.
I'm the worst person.
I have no willpower.
I am.
Some people might have
inferior.
shame. Yeah, but others, like, I mean, that's a guilt. For me, that's a guilt.
And that's where we want someone to be.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. In therapy, we try, because shame thrives in secrecy, right? It is so much, and it grows in secrecy.
Well, you're only as sick as your secrets. That's an AA saying.
It is. And it's a beautiful one, because when we think something is too bad to even talk about, we feel so bad about it because it somehow reflects on how bad we are. And if you saw how bad I was, you wouldn't like me anyway.
Unlovable.
Because I'm unlovable. Yes.
So I think like guilt's about behavior. Shame's internalized.
Yep.
Guilt can lead to repair. Shame usually leads to spiraling.
Oh, yeah.
And it's experienced differently by individuals. I want to stress that, because in therapy, I don't ever want to put something, oh, you must be ashamed of that. They might not be. Something that one person may find shameful, another person would find guilt in. So we kind of explore differentiating. I think it's so important. You got to differentiate and define guilt versus shame.
That's why we don't judge, because the very same thing that could cause someone to feel like it's more guilt feeling, another person could take and be like, yeah, but it's really an indicator of how bad I am.
Right.
And I'm like, well, ooh. And that's where your ears prick up and you go, shame is at work here.
Right.
It also operates in shoulds.
Should.
How
The
much
would, could,
shoulding?
shoulds. Oh, would, could, should. Those, if you could eliminate those from your vocabulary,
Do it.
your mood would be much better. When
Yeah,
I say I
like-
should or I could or I would, like, it makes me feel pressured. It makes me feel like I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think I'm the only person in the world that feels this way.
No.
I feel like a lot of people feel like those 3 words can send someone on a spiral.
It's called reactance. What you're talking about is called reactance. It is when someone goes, well, you should quit smoking.
Right.
What can happen in people's bodies is they go, wait a minute, I feel a threat to my autonomy. And then they feel a resistance to allowing someone to threaten their choice, their ability to choose and be free from that.
Right.
So what do? They often then don't want to do what the person just shoulded them about. If you're shoulding yourself about doing things all the time,
That self-talk.
you then create resistance without even realizing you're doing it, making it harder for you to do the thing that you're trying to do.
Right.
So shoulds are not helpful.
If you're a should'er and you tell people, you're like, you should, you find that in your vocabulary, you're actually driving them
You sure are.
to not do
To
it.
not do it.
That friend that's in this terrible relationship, you should break up.
You should
immediately.
leave. Yep. You should. You should have like really gotten that done a week ago. The shoulds.
Right.
I mean, even that, it's like all of a sudden the person's like wilting under like, I'm so ashamed.
Yeah,
Because should and shame like go hand in hand.
they sure do.
We call it it's a thinking error. So we
It
tell
is
people all the
definitely
time,
a thinking error.
remove it.
And I think like when you're defining guilt versus shame, it's so important. I usually check in with the person, ask, is this something if you apologize for and made amends,
Yeah.
would you learn from that and move on?
Yeah.
Or did you hide it, lie about it, deny it happened, avoid? Then we're looking at shame. And there's no like right or wrong
Shame
answer.
could
You're not
be
going to be
driving that.
Yeah, because the people with shame
Yes.
tend to have shame that they have shame.
Yes. And they're like, they can't even admit I did
Oh.
the thing because it's not just I did a thing that I don't think is congruent with who I am or what
My
I
morals
value.
and values, yeah.
Now it's about I don't want you to think I'm a bad person, so I'm just not even going
Right.
to say I did it.
So you're projecting what you think about yourself
Ooh, dang, that's a good way to look at it.
onto other people. So yeah, in therapy, when you talk about it, like, you know, getting those, give me an example of what happened. And, you know, and if it's like this thing where they're carrying it, I've apologized, I've made amends, it's still sticks
sitting
me.
with you.
Yeah, that's shame. And the problem with it too is we all know how to be angry. We know how to be sad. We know how to be happy. But you're like, well, that's shame. How do
People
I
look at
show?
me like, what is
How do
that?
I show shame? Like,
Yes.
you don't. It's there.
It's internal.
It's secret, just like how it
And
festers in you.
a way that I might like point to it is be like, tell me about your internal dialogue.
Mm.
It's the people who are
Yes.
going, I'm such an idiot versus, oh, I'm a human and I made a mistake. If
Yeah.
you are saying things like your negative internal dialogue, and this kind of comes up when we talk about like, where could it come from? Sometimes like, I don't know about you, but like I heard shame on you growing up.
Oh,
God,
I was
yeah, right? Shame on you.
Shame on you.
You as a human. They
Yeah.
didn't mean it. I don't think they
Right.
realized how that could get internalized, or like good girl or boy, good
Yeah.
boy, bad
Shame on you,
boy,
though.
bad girl. It becomes like sometimes
Mhm.
unintentionally parents confuse behavior and like identity.
Yes.
Like, so if you got a lot of those messages, you might have started to internalize like, I'm bad. Not I did a bad thing,
Right.
but I am bad as a person. And now I don't ever want anyone to know when I've made a mistake because it just shows that I'm bad.
Right.
Like,
And it's so important. And that's why, like, I know, like, when I say the pizza, there's a circle. Like, if you ever if you're ever feeling shame, draw a big circle,
Pie
put it into
chart.
like pie chart. Perfect. That's a good way to put it. And then you put the one thing you have some shame about in there. It's one little piece. And then you put your other traits. And then you can realize,
That's
like,
a good
oh,
one.
it's like not who I am. It's something that I did.
yes.
It's a small piece of me. I made a bad choice.
Do you know how hard and resistant? I mean, you know how hard people are to wanting to shift that narrative of like, I did something I'm not happy about or I'm not proud of, like, and letting go of it isn't you.
Right.
I mean,
It's a behavior.
It's a behavior.
Yeah.
And behavior and who you are. This might bother people, but we are not, who we are is not defined by every behavior we've ever done.
It's a behavior. It's a slice.
Behavior.
It's a slice. And guess what? With behaviors, you can change them.
You can change them.
So behavior you can have
different
changed.
choices.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the person sitting in prison for the rest of their life,
Yes.
they probably, maybe they've shamed me.
Maybe they don't.
They could be a
Yeah, it could be
sociopath.
a
So I don't want to put that
sociopath
on
or
that.
a psychopath.
But like, they may come to that realization of like, wow, that was a behavior with a really harsh consequence.
Yes. I mean, I got, this is one of those things with having teenage girls or boys. Do you have a teenage boy?
Oh, yes, I do.
I worry about like drinking and driving, because talk about it's a quick 2-second decision that
I only
might
had one.
possibly, and they get behind a wheel and then something terrible, and they could go to jail for years for involuntary manslaughter. Like,
Yes.
some decisions have such huge consequences that this has nothing to do with shame. But the point being,
Yeah.
like, we make decisions, and some consequences are small and some are really big.
And how that person in prison may think about
Yes.
that. It could be shame or it could be guilt.
It could.
You know,
It
like, how's that
depends.
person going to be? But I would say that prison's pretty full of a lot of shame. There's
Yeah, if
sociopaths
they
that
are
are.
not-
There's
yes.
sociopaths. And not all everyone in prison's a sociopath. They could be like the person you just described, a snap decision. Someone that sexted and they're under the age of 16.
Yes,
and they
they
send a
didn't
nude,
know.
that's child pornography.
Yep. And the laws
The
don't
law is the
recognize
law.
it any differently.
Yeah. So, I mean, talk
they're
about.
not bad people.
Yeah, you made a terrible choice.
You made a terrible choice.
But shame, it's insidious.
It's so insidious.
So we looked at some titles, as
Yeah.
we always do. It's
Always
kind of how we
do.
get our like talking points.
Yeah.
This one's guilt is about a behavior. Shame is about identity. One leads to repair. The other leads to spiraling. And that's what you see. And that's why it's so important in therapy when you're talking or like you're thinking about something and you just can't let it go. Is this shame? And I think people can't because they don't know what it feels like. Shame sticks with you. You think about it.
Yes.
It keeps coming back.
And we were talking about something that if you think of a time where you can't, like, it actually have a feeling, you actually have a reaction as if you were still in that situation.
Yes.
Might be a good indicator that you have shame.
Yeah.
Like your situation you were talking about.
Yeah. I was mean in high school to someone. And mind you, I could be mean on my own. But I was only mean because I was trying to impress other people.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that has stuck with me. I tried to apologize. The person didn't accept the apology. And that valid. You shouldn't have to. But like, it's stuck because, I mean, I could be mean on my own and make that choice and be guilt and apologize. But this was shame because I let other people influence me to do something that I knew was wrong.
Yes.
And just like, oh my God. And the thought is like, what if that happens again? What if I'm influenced by other people? That's shame. I still think about it.
And it's somehow you've conflated, I'm a bad person if I did this because of someone else. Like I was trying to fit in or belong.
Right.
Which is a totally normal kid behavior.
Oh,
It's the hard
totally.
part is that
But-
you look at what we've done in our lives, especially as kids, how it's so important to fit in that
It
sometimes
is.
you make a decision that truly is not in line with what you
Oh,
were,
Well, for some reason,
valuing.
that's stuck. Because,
It's
I do think kids are naturally mean. They have a natural order amongst their
They do.
systems.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not the most polite. Like adults, sometimes
Yeah.
adults are a little too polite.
Yeah.
And kids have a great way of keeping order. But this was a situation where it was unnecessary and it was
just,
done
like, done.
in
Out of like,
just meanness and trying to get approval.
Yeah.
So that sucks. But anyway, that's like so where you spiral and you think about it. I mean, maybe the whole day I die, I'll be like, that was so awful.
or
I don't
you
think I'm a bad person.
Yeah, no, but if
Yeah.
you think about it, if some situation in therapy, I always ask people, like, tell me about it, something you can't let go of that like
Yeah.
you really feel bad about.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, so do you feel it in your body as you're talking about it? If they do, that's a pretty good indicator you're dealing with shame and not guilt.
Embarrassment, shame.
Yeah, it's like, and it's just something to be explored about, like, because that it has persisted over time.
Yes.
And for some reason you haven't let go of it. Well, why haven't you let go of it?
right.
And so it's worth talking about. The other thing I think about in parenting is we all have to be so careful of what we say to our kids because it becomes their internal voice.
Oh yeah.
So so many people come in and they're like, yeah, my parents were great parents. They loved me.
Mhm.
But again, like sometimes it's the human nature. We remember the one negative thing and maybe it was the way it was said.
Right.
And so we all have to be careful of how we are talking to our kids because they really do listen.
Oh yeah. And they'll pick up, and you may not know because they won't tell you, but they've picked up on something where it was very hurtful.
Yes.
It stuck with them.
Yes. And it will eventually, if you are always telling them like, you're an idiot, you're dumb.
Yeah.
that becomes their internal voice.
You're
They
lazy.
you're lazy. You're so irresponsible. It's trying to remind them that like that behavior is not quite the same thing as who they are. It's like, yeah, I think you made a decision here. There were some consequences here. You take the who they are out of it and you discuss the consequences of a behavior. And what do you want?
It's a behavior. I'm always like, let's go to the behavior.
Yes.
What's the behavior?
Yep.
And people get real embarrassed. They don't want to tell you the behavior.
No.
I'm telling kids will tell me the behavior. Like
Well, that's good.
they're pretty good about it.
Yes.
Because they haven't had a life full of shame. And maybe people shaming. I think that's another thing. People, like, other generations may shame
1,000%.
other people.
Yep.
So I think they don't have the years of shame like our generation has yet. But I say yet. So I think we can change this. But like understanding what it is, guilt, we can change the behavior, and that's separating the behavior from the person.
Yes. When you
You're
realize
not
that,
who
it's
you
very
are.
empowering.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
You are not that behavior.
yeah, or even just, you've made 100 really great decisions.
And you got one.
But you made the one, somehow that one defined you, but the other 100 don't. Even it's
Absolutely.
cognitive therapy right there.
Absolutely.
I mean,
When I
that's
used to do group therapy, I would hang poster board all around the room, and I'd say, okay, today we're going to fill this poster board up. You're going to write 5 things you like about yourself on here. Crickets. I want you to write one thing that you don't. The board is full. They can, and that is like, I wish we need to rewire that, because everything they did felt bad about were pretty much behaviors.
Yes.
They weren't like these, they weren't sociopaths.
No.
They were behaviors. And they were kids.
They're kids.
They're kids. I mean, you're going to make a mistake. Shame thrives in secrecy and silence. This is another way I think we see shame.
And this brings up some themes of like abuse, sexual abuse.
Survivors of sexual abuse.
Sexual abuse
Incest,
have a lot of it.
Domestic violence.
Absolutely. As much as victims maybe eventually will see themselves as a survivor, they often feel to blame for it. A lot of times, like, the human mind is too overwhelmed by the trauma. It is actually probably easier to blame themselves than to be out of control and blame someone else.
Right.
So we can understand how someone distorts the view of reality to, I caused this. So, you know, for a young girl who's like, I shouldn't have worn shorts, like short skirt. I wore this to bed one night, and that's when the abuse happened with my stepfather or my mom's boyfriend. Or
I sat on their lap.
Yep.
I shouldn't have sat on their lap.
If I hadn't done that.
Right.
And it gets to, this is how the brain can like connect misperceptions, and it starts depening the shame. I'm bad. I'm bad.
My body deserves to be abused.
Yeah. I'm unworthy.
Yeah, I'm unworthy. I'm not worth someone's loving care.
Nope.
This vessel is used to please others.
Yes.
And
all I have been
be mean to me, and then you turn inward, you get mean on your own, or mean towards yourself.
Yep.
And domestic violence too. There's a lot of shame and embarrassment around that, so they keep it kind of under wraps.
Yes.
They don't really want to talk about it.
Yes.
They'll cover the bruises, and they're afraid to leave because they don't feel they're worthy.
That can be it. They've been abused psychologically as well as physically. It is scary to leave. It's dangerous to leave.
Right.
But you love the person. You also love someone, and you see the honeymoon phase is the best phase. But that
or
a cycle.
You don't want to. What if they might not understand either. And I've had this, that like there are relationships where people don't get beat. They're like, I'll stick with what I know.
Yeah.
And not trade in, because it could get much worse if I trade in. Not realizing not everyone.
Yeah.
Gets punched or pulled on or yanked or grabbed when they do something wrong. Yeah.
And a lot of women who witness violence from between their parents are going to go on to be involved in a domestically violent relationship as an adult.
There's a lot of shame there.
And a lot of shame in that one too, because they remember probably feeling powerless, wanting their parent to maybe do something different.
Right.
Leave.
Right.
Let's get safety.
We got to keep it quiet. Secrets.
Oh, secrets.
Quiet. And that's where the shame comes in too. Because like when you have to keep, hey, you can't ever tell anyone at school that dad does this. He has a very stressful job and reinforcing that secrecy. And that's I think it's the best phrase there. You're only sick as your secrets. The first time I heard that, I was like, yes, because secrets are like a thorn inside you.
Oh yeah.
And they just keep poking and poking and poking until they can't poke no more.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that is definitely one that goes to only sick as your secrets. And when a survivor talks about it,
they feel, the healing.
When you're like, that was truly awful. No one should be treated that way.
And then once it's spoken out loud, you can start trying to understand the thoughts that that were distorted and how they saw the event, which helps you allow to reframe them, to diminish and to start like turning around the shame.
Absolutely.
Lots like empathy is a huge driver of that, but it's also reframing.
It is. And when you're working with kids or someone that this happened in their childhood, when kids are younger, this is happening to them, and adults doing it. Adults are in charge.
Yes, they are.
So they are, one thing I get a lot is, am I going to go to jail if I tell?
Amen.
I did this. Am I going
to be in trouble?
Am I going to get in trouble?
Yes.
The perpetrator told me I was going to be in trouble. Does everyone do this? Like,
Yes.
Is this what happens? Everyone does this? They don't know what it is when they're being abused. Like, they don't know yet, even though we do a really good job of educating, way better than what we did in our era. But yeah, so I feel like, and then when they realize, oh, it's not normal to sleep with dad.
Yes.
Or X, Y, and Z, or my brother to touch me, or my sister to touch me, whatever it might be.
Yes.
That's deep
and
shame.
if they kept the secret for fear of the impact it would have on the family, they then feel shame about keeping the secret.
Right.
Like they
are
it's the shame from the abuse, it's the shame from maintaining the secret. That's a lot, and no one ever gets better from shame.
No.
You just get worse.
It drives people pleaser, it drives anxiety. Okay, here's one. If
Yep,
over-explaining was an Olympic sport, shame would take hold.
That's good.
That's a funny.
Absolutely. We all know some folks that will like over-explain their behavior.
Very reactive people.
And partly because I think what's happening is that they are experiencing, like, they have their own internal dialogue, and which we, unfortunately, and all of us do this, is project onto other people. We may not know we're doing it, but when we're over explaining, we're actually like explaining it to ourselves, because our own internal dialogue is like, no one's going to like me because I'm actually not, I'm inferior. Other people do things, but whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I'm not worthy. And so all of a sudden you're like explaining out of this need to, like, because you're somehow you're less than. Right. And so you over explain it to try to get maybe buy-in.
I've done something wrong. Even though you haven't done anything wrong. You haven't done anything wrong, but no, I've done someone's tone like, oh, why'd you do that? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes. The person who, when you ask what happened again, or why did that happen? And they immediately go to defending themselves because they think that you're saying that they're wrong.
They're bad.
That they did something wrong.
Like that's not correct. You'll see this with kids a lot. Like, John's like, no, you're not in trouble.
Oh, I always have to tell my kids, like, not in trouble, but can we talk later tonight? And they'll be like, oh, are you sure I'm not in trouble? What are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk right now. I want to talk right now.
Quite honestly, I feel the same way sometimes. Someone's like, we need to talk. I'm like, I
get a text message on
what? And I'll be like, just give me a preview. Because it will help my anxiety.
Are you mad?
Yes. If you're mad, tell me just now. Let me have some time.
Maybe I did something. But it is a natural response like that. Like, and you over-explain, and you immediately like, oh my God, I did. Yeah. Sorry.
Or the apologizer.
Yeah.
Constantly apologizing. Because what are you apologizing for? It's your internal dialogue that tells you need to.
Right. Like, why am I apologizing?
Other people may not even be telling you anything like that.
Right.
But you read it. It's that shame becomes the filter that you see the world through. Like, and so you can see it like everybody thinks I'm bad. Everybody hates me.
Right.
No one thinks I'm good.
I feel like I'll get this when therapy homework. Okay, so did you do your homework? I was really busy. I had a migraine. I broke my arm.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Are you in trouble? Like, you're not in trouble. I mean, like, the only person that, like, it's you. Like, maybe you weren't ready to do it. Yeah. That's okay. I really believe in you land where you land and you're right where you're supposed to be. I feel like if you're not doing it, if you didn't do okay. We're not there. We're not there yet.
And here's the thing is, like, again, sometimes there's a little bit of ambivalence about, like, or even fear around doing this or diving into it, which is a great conversation. Like, hey, did you feel avoidance around this? Right. Or was this truly, I was so busy, I just, like, it slipped my mind.
Right.
Those are different things. Maybe someone just goes, I really just didn't find the time.
So they might have guilt about that. And so they might do it the next time. But someone that's like, I'm not good at therapy. And now I feel at therapy.
Oh my God. I just had this conversation with one of my clients. She's like, I always want to be like the good, like, I'm the best therapy client you've ever had. I'm my doctor's best patient. And I always laugh. I'm like, you don't, is this your perfectionism? Like, you're coming out, like, you've got to be, and we laugh.
But on the bar.
There's just, again, shame that there are people like they have a hard time advocating or asserting because of that shame of like, but I'm bad if I assert myself.
If I tell you what I really did, you're not gonna like it. It's like, this is therapy, sister.
I always tell people there's no such thing as TMI.
Yeah, this is where you talk about it.
This couldn't be a better place.
Right, this is where we bring it out.
I'm always laughing like, you guys, I can't tell anyone.
Sorry, I'm crying.
Yes.
That's the couch, man. Feel these tissues.
Yes.
I'm everywhere.
It's the currency in therapy.
It is. And I feel like this one does come from a little bit of like how you were raised. I mean, not so much in today's world, but like when I was a kid, like you had better an answer. You didn't have your homework done. Like you could get in some serious trouble. And I mean, like I went to school where there was punitive punishment.
Yeah.
But like you would get in trouble. Like me, and my parents didn't spank me or anything, but some people would get spanked or
spanking was still a thing.
Tongue lashing, like I mean stuff that would be said to. So I feel like a lot of that gets like you can tell kind of like where it comes from, that inner child we talked about last week. That like I have a reason I didn't do this.
Yes.
Oh my God, why did I do this? You know, like why didn't I do it?
Because it was wrapped up in like, are you a good student or a bad student? Like it was wrapped up in like who you are. I mean, really, I do think, and if anyone was raised by a religion like me, like Catholic, I was Catholic.
Catholic guilt. I
have tons of that. And you don't even realize how some of the language of it, I don't think it's intentional, but it's like the bad, good, which is a really like all or nothing way of looking at things.
It's so black and white.
But everything's shameful. You're going to go to hell.
Right.
Like you're going to go to hell. You'll burn. If you think about sex, if you think about
sex out of wedlock.
Yes.
Using birth control because you don't want to have like that's a big one. How many young men are out there just rot, and women too, young women, I'm sorry, I don't want to be gender biased here, rot with guilt, maybe shame. I think masturbation carries shame.
It does for many people because again, what's the context of how you were raised? If religion was part of the story, that's probably something to explore, is what's the impact did that have on like who you think you are,
right?
Because it's I believe they pair up behavior with bad.
Yeah.
I really, that was a lot of the messaging I got in Catholic school. Sorry, people, but that's what I got. And so you have to like disentangle it. So I would say like so much of what, even as we're talking about this stuff, like listen to your inner voice.
Right.
Question everything. Don't just take it as fact.
Right.
Like I'm bad. Are you?
Or do you have bad behavior? If you could just switch that one little thought.
Seriously.
Me and I don't have one person that is their entire being ever. It is a behavior.
Behaviors, and you have how many behaviors per day that are also good. It's reframing the I'm an idiot to I'm human and humans make mistakes.
I hate when I behave that way.
Or I don't like that.
I don't like that I yell.
I don't like that I yell.
Cut me off. Yeah.
And that's not like consistent with who I really want to be.
Right.
We all sometimes like little white lies. I hate to say white lies, but like little lies that we tell.
Right.
And we do.
And sometimes like, you obviously don't want to be a pathological liar, but like,
of course not.
Maybe you don't like someone's new haircut, but they're real happy with it.
That's exactly what I mean.
Fantastic.
Would you really say,
oh,
it looks terrible?
Wow.
That wouldn't be my choice.
Much for you, girl.
I wouldn't even say it wouldn't have been my choice.
You're right.
Their hair is cut.
They love it.
So I'm like, you know what? You look great. Good for you.
Right. The little white
lies. And we do that also. I mean, I think, so trying not to get to that part of like, it's not so black and white, because that's my point. Like even a lie sometimes, it sounds like we could maybe black and white, just say they're bad. But there are times where we use it. Hey, have I gained some weight, honey? My husband's like, nope. Every time. Then I go to the doctor and I'm like 10 pounds heavier. And I'm like, I'm bigger.
I did.
I'm bigger.
Damn.
And then he's like, I didn't notice. Of course he noticed.
Yeah.
But
thank you.
Is that bad? But also,
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't mind it.
For sure. So the little white lies. I mean, I think that's a whole different. Yeah. So lots of tell people like, you need to be able to differentiate between a lie that is hurtful and a lie that's to preserve someone's feeling.
I know. Well, and like, is it necessary? Can it change? But that could be a topic of another.
Shame drives lying. Like you lie when you're ashamed,
and you do a lot of that when you're ashamed.
Yeah.
Because. Again, you think that these are indicators of you being a bad person.
Reinforces I'm not very good.
You have to lie about it.
Yeah.
Could not agree more.
Did you eat that other cookie? No. I ate
Yeah, right.
and I know I gained weight. Like, I mean, but that's the thing. But shame of that, like, I didn't have the willpower
I know.
to not eat that cookie. I ate the whole box or whatever
Dude,
it might be.
People lie to themselves too.
Oh, absolutely. I only ate
Like-
2 margaritas.
Yeah.
I had 6.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh shit! I looked at my receipt. I better burn this thing because you have like this shame and
You
embarrassment
feel bad.
drive you. Yeah, you're like, oh man.
I think radical honesty, another kind of, I like to borrow from other like AA models or like addiction, substance misuse. But like one of the, like radical honesty is a beautiful thing, and compassion. So empathy and compassion for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Most of what you do is just a shared human thing.
Yeah.
And once you learn that,
Yeah.
by exposing it, and someone doesn't go, oh, you terrible human,
God.
you start healing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
therapy, even self-disclosing to a really close friend is
Right.
so healing, because you start realizing like, oh, other people do that too.
Saying it out loud.
Say it out loud.
Like loud and proud.
proud.
Like, I mean, not to announce from the rooftops, but like saying it out loud, sometimes you're like, it's so bad in my head.
Yes.
The 2 a.m. wake up of like, oh my God, why
yeah.
did I say that?
Yep.
And that's like, sometimes that's guilt and you go back, and sometimes it's shame. We're like, man, I'm never going to repair that one on that.
And it reinforces unhealthy behaviors. So the person who drinks, right, because they're like not feeling good, they're depressed, they're anxious, but then they feel intense shame about it. Like when you get information and understanding about anything, but let's say addiction, you start really realizing like there's no shame in the behavior. It's for relief. It's for coping. When you start normalizing, like that's just what you turn to for that. And then it developed into more because developed a tolerance for psychological craving and impulse. Like when you understand it, so knowledge and education are so important to, I think, like dispel shame in people.
And differentiate
even around
shame, guilt.
misuse. Yes.
Shame, guilt.
And differentiate
your head. Is this shame or is this guilt?
Yes.
Can I grow? Am
Or
I gonna like just simmer in it?
and always shame means you simmer.
Oh, simmer.
You are not going to grow. You are not going to feel better. You're not going to be more motivated. So shame is worthless.
It's very rooted. You're right with the AA because you make amends.
You do.
Yeah, you make amends.
And you do like a total inventory of all your deficits, which can be a beautiful thing when you
do.
go, guess
Yeah,
what?
you do those steps. You're like, oh my gosh, I do this. All right, we're out of time. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Fit Mind Chats. We will see you next Monday for another session. If you have a question or a topic that you want to talk about, listen to, have us cover, follow us on Facebook, Fit Mind Cleveland, and message us.
If you'd like to seek out therapy services, go to our website, fitmindcleveland.com, and contact us. If you would please leave us a rating, review, or share this podcast with your family, friends, enemies, or anyone that needs it. We want to bring mental health access to all people that can benefit. Have a good week.